Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Corvan Allen, who just won his bout on LFA 192. Hello, Corvan. How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm very good this morning.
Thanks for taking the invitation. And just about a week ago, you won your bout on LFA, so it's quite a big promotion. And if you can tell me, how do you feel about your performance, and what should be next for you right now? What do you think?
Man, so how do I feel about my performance? I'm never satisfied, to be honest. I feel like, um, you know, it was okay. The guy was kind of larger than me, as they've all kind of been bigger than me. So I mean, it wasn't too much of a surprise there. I wish I would have shown my hands a lot more. I know it's not recorded or anywhere to be found right now, but he shot in early in the fight, and that kind of took me by surprise a bit. So I just thought I would have been able to show my hands and kind of, you know, deliver a more exciting performance. But got the W with my grappling. And so hopefully next time I can show more of my hands. And in regards to what's next, hopefully I can get on this Cage Warriors card in December. I think it's December 13th. So, I've been talking to Cage Warriors, and hopefully they can get me on this coming December.
And about Cage Warriors, because you are fighting there, you had good performances in this promotion. And do you think that it would be good for your career, or just for you to fight in Europe, in maybe Great Britain, or the one of their Europe show?
Honestly, it would be awesome. It'd be great to be able to fly over and kind of like expand my horizons and whatnot. Yeah, I've shown interest before, and being able to go over to the UK and put on a performance. So hopefully, again, like, just deliver more exciting performances, and maybe they'll want to see me more, and maybe they'll be willing to spare a couple bucks to get me over there as well. So need to make myself worth it, right? So yeah, we'll see.
And actually, I think that for now you are quite busy fighter, because you had three fights in this year. Also, you fought in December last year. So
Mhm.
maybe in the span of like 12 months, you will be fighting. You will fight five times.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking. I would like to get two more this year if I could squeeze in two more, but that Cage Warriors is looking nice in December, and I like fighting. I want to be active, and I'm looking to go down in weight as well to 125. So hopefully, there's even more matchups there. So yeah, I'm excited for the future.
And I think also that it's kind of crazy, because you have eight pro bouts, and you fought in the LFA, the best regional promotion, and Cage Warriors, which is the best regional promotion, like European promotion. So it's
Right.
kind of crazy that in span of eight fights you have this kind of experience.
Yeah, honestly, it is kind of crazy seeing as not just Cage Warriors and LFA, but I after a year of injuries, that I had the previous year, kind of delaying a lot of my fights, a lot of my returns to the cage, to be able to make a uh, how do you call it? Make an entry onto Cage Warriors and then LFA, and it feels like my career is really getting moving right now, and so I would like to ride the momentum into, and then again another Cage Warriors, another promotion where I can get some good eyeballs on me for the future.
Yes, yes, definitely the good place to be in these promotions.
Right, right.
And I saw on Tapology that you started your amateur career in 2014. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, a long time ago.
So what was the like your first reason to when you decided to go on the amateur scene to try the MMA thing?
Hmm. Um, my reason, honestly, I just loved it. I just loved it. I didn't know anything about MMA whatsoever growing up, and I found it oddly enough when I was nursing. I was a nurse, an assistant nurse, and I saw it on TV, and it was love at first sight. I had to do it. I was wrestling at the time, and I just felt like my ceiling. I had a ceiling. I felt like in wrestling. I didn't wrestle early on, so I was kind of late to the party. So when I saw MMA and saw that kind of anybody could pick it up, especially having a wrestling background, I just felt like it was a match made in heaven, and I had to pursue it. Um, so yeah, I had to.
And do you remember what was the fight that you saw, the first fight?
Um, I don't know his opponent, but I believe it was Michael Chandler in Bellator. And he was, I don't know, he was beating up somebody, dude. And I remember watching it and I was like, I don't want to fight that guy, dude. Like Michael Chandler's like ripped, and I was young. I was like 19, and I was like, dude, I don't want to fight that guy, but I do want to fight. But if I do want to fight, I might have to fight that guy. So I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. But it was Michael Chandler for sure. He was putting the whooping on somebody, and it was brutal, but it was very nice to see.
Yes, actually, in Bellator, he beat a lot of good guys, guys on a good level, and then sometimes he destroyed them even.
Yes, yeah,
And also, I saw that between 2015 and 2021, you had quite a long break.
yeah.
And was it any particular reason to take this kind of break? Maybe you didn't think about being like MMA as your career?
Honestly, I was very serious about MMA. I saw the Demetriuses, I saw the Aldos, and I was just like, I saw the greats, and I wanted to be one of them. And but during that time, I was also kind of like I was young, 19 years old, and so I started kind of dabbling, going to school, going to college, and I just felt like I needed to like have a change of pace in my life. I started pursuing God and church, and I was extremely invested. I'm one of those people that once I am interested and focused on something, I have to do it. I have to 100% full force committed to it. And so I just felt like I couldn't do both. I couldn't be halfway in MMA because of I had, churchly responsibilities. I would lead stuff, I would set up stuff, I would do that. And so I felt like I couldn't halfway fight. Otherwise you're gonna get beat up by guys who are really committed. So I just kind of took that time to kind of like go to school um, and just experience God, experience church, experience life kind of because I never really got to do that when I was young. And then as you get older, you realize that your time is limited, and I should probably start fighting. If I really love it, I should probably do it when I'm young before I can't do it later. So that's what made me really come back to it and say I need to really get back on top of it.
And probably it was a good decision because of your recent results.
Right, right. Yeah, I came off a win and I was just like, it's it and that's how like some people they take losses and then they don't want to fight anymore and they don't come back the same. But I took I think I took two losses and I came back with two wins or one win. And so I was ready to keep going. It's just had to mature. Had to mature.
In your pro record, I believe that you have two losses and two by rear naked chokes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And when you lost the second fight, were you super focused on defending them in training that you don't want this to happen again?
Okay, for sure after the second fight. The second fight I was because the first fight, I came back off of like 5 years, 6 years off. So and the guy was on a 2-fight win streak. He was like 2-0 at the time. And so I took the fight and I was like, yeah, I could beat him. I was confident. And the finishing sequence, I just felt like it was a lack of experience for on my part. Just wasn't aware in a certain position, and so he got the choke. And then the second fight, I just didn't feel very present. I didn't feel focused. I didn't feel ready, honestly. And he came out really strong, and he started putting the pressure on me. And it's kind of same. It is the same kind of situation and sequence. You know, just didn't defend, sunk in the choke early on, and that was it. And then after that, I said, no more. I can't. No more. Like in training, no more tapping, no tapping, no. And even before that, I was difficult to submit. You know, if you notice, the two losses were off of like transitions. They weren't necessarily off of setting the position, getting the back, and then sinking the choke. It was off of a mat return or, you know, I was a scramble. And so for me, it was like, okay, like I need to be in this position and not be afraid of it, but learn how to defend in it. And so, yep, I started there. I started in the back position, like every practice, every time live, whoever it was, black belt, brown belt, purple belt, whoever, just start on my back. And sometimes start with the choke in, you know, if they're white belt, start with the choke in. And then, you know, work out of it. And so I feel like my defense is impeccable. I don't know if it's the neck or the traps, but you know, you can't get in there. And then and so yeah, I had to work on it. I focused on it a lot, and I still start there now, you know. So it's always something to grow in.
And there are some fighters, like for example Michael Chiesa, who got this crazy rear naked choke. So there are people who are like specialists in this position.
Right, right. Even my first opponent in Cage Warriors, Carrillo, I guess I heard that he's like good at, you know, rear naked chokes. That's like his thing. And so early on he really pushed for that, you know, didn't want to strike early, took me down, you know, tried to go forward, had my back, all the good stuff. And but again, the losses were off of transitions, not off of setting the position and then going for it. And so he tried and he tried, he kind of gassed himself out. And so you saw the result. But yeah, some guys are really lights out at it, and you just don't want to, not just don't want to be there, but you got to know how to, if you get there, to defend it.
Yes, that's right. And if you can tell me more about your gym, your current gym, and the team coach or the training partners that you have there.
So I train at Millennia MMA out here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They have a great program, great team, a lot of grapplers, so it's always fun rolling around with the guys. And yeah, my head coach, his name is Romeo Ram. I met him in the beginning, and he's been just a pillar of wisdom for me. You know, guiding us, kind of just sometimes being just big brother. Like he talks shit to us and makes fun of us. He'll make fun of a loss, you know. You know, we come up a loss. He's like, yeah, like, yeah, you're gonna get choked again like your last time. And it's like, oh, thanks, coach. Like, you know, but he loves us and we love him. And you know, it's just a great team. It feels like family. And it just feels like we're all his kids and we all have our issues, but he takes us all. But yeah, great coaches. And the assistant coach, Vince Guzman, he's been in my corner for the past, I think, 5 fights. Sometimes Romy has to go out with Lorenz Larkin or Tatiana or somebody else, and so he can't be with the other guy. So Vincent Guzman comes with me, and he's, you know, I'm on a 5-fight win streak, and he's been there for all 5, so he's doing something. So yeah, we've been on the road this past week. We got about 4 wins, and we're riding the momentum.
And do you have in your team the prospects maybe when maybe like early in their career, amateur or pro, the guys that maybe not right now, but that you see the big future in them?
Honestly, yeah. Yosef Siraj, he's one of our young amateur fighters. He's 1-0 right now. He hits hard. He hits hard. And he's technical. He's always wanted to learn. He's a big student of the game, and he's He's coming. He's coming strong. Nobody wants to fight him right now, so we're still looking for a fight for him. But yeah, he's one of the guys. Israel Salazar, he's a young flyweight. Sorry, Yusuf is probably going to be a bantamweight, and then Israel Salazar, he's a flyweight. He just made his pro debut recently. Unanimous decision. He went all 3 rounds. Great fight. He's a scrapper. He loves to fight. He loves to throw his hands, and so he's coming up. We got Arnold Jimenez. He just won the belt for Lights Out, and he's fought multiple times on A1 and LFA and a couple of different cards. So Arnold Jimenez is out there, and Taylor Malden. We have a lot. She was the A1 champ, and she's a beast. She's a beast. And so we're all just coming up. We're all growing. We have a couple guys coming up in the next couple months, couple fights, and yeah. Oh yeah. And all of us young ones are led by Lorenz Larkin from Bellator. He's the captain. He's Captain Millennia, and he's been whipping us in shape. So, yeah, he's the big captain around here.
And he, of course, got crazy experience because he fought in Strikeforce, in UFC, in Bellator. So it's kind of crazy. He fought like 15 years ago or something around this.
Yeah, no, he has so much experience. He always has something to share, to add, to teach. He always has a butt whooping to hand out, and it's always fun going with him. It's always, a little dicey. You never know, because sometimes he hits hard, he's fast, but no, yeah, he teaches us so much, and I wouldn't know where we would be without him, or our great coaching team.
And because you are in the sport for many years right now, which part of MMA you don't like? It's like the least favorite part of overall of the game for you.
I don't know. It's tough. There's so much to dislike. I'm just kidding. I think in terms of as an athlete, I think maybe I would say weight cutting. Just because I wrestled, so it's not too bad for me. But I just feel like, I don't know, like the guy I fought just recently for LFA, he was 5'10", and I think he most likely walked around 160, to be honest. He made weight, but for sure he entered the cage much heavier than me, and so it was just like, you can, weight cutting, getting down is nice, but to fight a guy your size will be much nicer. And flyweights are getting bigger, bantamweights have gotten bigger, lightweights have gotten bigger, 6'3" lightweights, like it's crazy. And so yeah, I think weight cutting is a bit ridiculous, but it's always going to be there, and that's just kind of what it is. And yeah, there's so much more to dislike that I dislike about the industry, but weight cutting and yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that, for example, Frankie Edgar, like many years ago, was a lightweight champion, and
Right.
when he was finishing his career, he was a bantamweight, and for sure he was more of the bantamweight and lightweight fighter.
Right. It's amazing. It's. I mean, look at Aldo. Like, he's not a small or a big bantamweight. Like, he's not a big bantamweight, and like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Featherweight to walk around at 170 now. Like, and I walk around at around 146. I'm fighting at 135. Like, that's not a lot. So it's kind of crazy. The times have definitely changed.
So actually, really flyweight division may be a really good choice for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be a big bantamweight. I might be a little muscled for bantamweight. I mean, for flyweight, I mean. So I might be a little more muscled than them, but in terms of size and stature, I don't feel like I'm the biggest. But for sure, for bantamweight, I'm not big at all. So yeah.
And who is your favorite fighter to watch overall in MMA?
Well, he just retired, Demetrius Johnson, but That's my GOAT. That's my GOAT. I know people have John Jones. I know Dana loves John Jones, and you've seen the Dana stuff with John Jones. But Demetrius, he's my GOAT. He's my number one, man. He is so dynamic, so thoughtful, and just carried himself well. Could have had a little more pizzazz, a little more charisma, but he showed it all in his fighting, and so much respect to him. But as of right now, someone who's been active, it's Ilia Topuria. He's a beast. He's a monster. So he's getting there.
And do you think that he will beat Max Holloway?
Oh, you can't ask me that. You can't ask me that on camera, because now is he gonna beat Max? It's tough because I feel like the way for him to beat Max is to like sleep him or really, really hurt him really bad throughout the fight. And but I see Max just like handling a good 5-round fight, just touching him throughout the fight. But I think he wins. I think I had Ilia beating Volk, and I think I got Volk beating Max as well.
I think that it is a super interesting fight, especially after the BMF title fight when he defeated Justin Gaethje. But probably it will be really. It will be really hard fight to pick a winner before the fight, because Ilia, of course, had good cards, let's say, and then Max, of course, too. So I think that it will be a super interesting battle of styles.
Yes, no, two strikers, but one's volume boxing, and then one is just counters inside, lands heavy shots, and the thing is Ilia started as a grappler, and so he's strong, has good grappling. If he wants to, he can easily mix it in and make Max guess a bit more. So, it's a good fight. It's an amazing fight, and I can't wait for it.
And when you are thinking about your career right now, do you have any dreams in your fighting career that maybe you want to get to the UFC? Maybe you want to be a champion, fight a tough competition. Do you have any big dreams in fighting?
Yeah, man. It's gonna sound crazy because I know a lot of people talk about it. How many MMA fighters are out there and they just speak about it. But the goal is to be one of the greatest. I'm not undefeated. I never thought I was gonna be undefeated like these other guys, and so that's not my path. But for sure, I look at Demetrius' career, 11 consecutive title defenses, and I think that looks amazing. And I look to hopefully surpass that someday. I know it's crazy in this era because, belts just bounce around so often nowadays and guys aren't as active. But for sure, I would love to eclipse that, maybe move up to bantamweight in the UFC, get a second belt, maybe get a third, maybe get a fourth. Who knows? I've walked around at 170 before, so who knows? And after that, I would love to commentate. I love fights. I love the technique of it. I love the energy of it, and I just feel like I'll be a great commentator, especially years down the line when the guys age out a little bit more. They're going to need some fresh blood and a former champion, and I will be that for sure. So yeah, go down as one of the greats.
And did you have any chance to comment a fight before in some smaller promotion?
I haven't. I would love the opportunity, but oh my gosh, if I get given the opportunity, I'll be more nervous than fighting. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it probably is a really stressful because you don't want to make a mistake to say something that it's wrong. So it can be probably a quite stressful.
Right. I mean. John Anik is great, and I maybe caught one time he ever messed up, but he's amazing. He's amazing. I don't know how he does it so well. The preparation is incredible, And you know, I had my hats off to my beanies off to him because he's amazing.
And outside of fighting, when you have a little bit more free time, when you are outside of training camp, what do you like to do then in your free time?
I draw at times. I paint here and there. A lot of it's mainly on clothes. I would maybe see a character in anime. I love anime, by the way. So, you know, Naruto. So, yeah, I would just see something, be inspired, and then I would think that would look cool on a hoodie or on some shoes, or I have an idea. And so I just start drawing. And outside of that, I play video games. I'm not an online player. I'm not, you know, get the headset. I'm just single player. Give me my controller, and I run through an open world like pretty quickly. So I like video games and drawing, to be short.
And drawing is probably a really cool thing because you have to be focused on doing one thing. You can be like thinking about anything else, and it's a like artistic way to put your thoughts on the paper, let's say.
Right, right. No, really, yeah. Um, yeah, anything that gets me dialed in and really invested kind of will hold my interest. If it's too boring or not engaging enough, I'll probably leave it alone after a while.
And I have one last question. It's also outside of fight game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like go-to guilty pleasure? This kind of thing.
Um, in terms of food, I mean, I guess video games are kind of a guilty pleasure because it's like, you know, I could be doing like everybody wants to be a grown up nowadays, and everybody wants to be productive, and oh, like you could do so many more things besides play video games. I like to play video games. Like I'll waste time. I don't care, and it helps me release and just kind of like let go of the world for a second. But outside of that, um, I'm a big I have a big sweet tooth. I have a big sweet tooth, and I just yeah, there's no helping it. I like sweets. I like baked goods. Not so much candy, but chocolate has gotten up there for me, and so yeah. Right now I've been getting fat, but starting Monday I'm gonna be back on my training again.
Yes, so probably the moment after the fight is really good for you because you can eat a little bit more than when you are cutting weight or you are in the training camp.
Yeah, it's not seriously. I don't worry about it. I don't weigh myself for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't weigh myself. I don't look at a scale. I don't think about it. I just let it happen. And then when I get back to training, it's back to, you know, running miles and punching people and eating better.
Okay, Corvan, so many thanks for this conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
hope that you will get another fight this year and you will be fighting in this kind of promotions, LFA, Cage Warriors, only the really big ones.
No, same here. I hope I can get a couple more in. I appreciate the invite, honestly. So it's great being here, great being asked all these questions, being interviewed. And I hope much more prosperity for your channel as well.
Thank you.